Alright, listen. In the coming months and years, everyone will be able to create stunning video content with AI. There has never been a better time to be a creator, but when everyone is creating beautiful images and videos, it becomes even more important for you to stand out. Well, the three most important factors to stand out in the creator economy are attention, attention, and of course, attention. So I'm going to show you one way you can start using today to create attention grabbing videos like these. And on top of that, I'll show you how to do it with your own consistent garments. So the workflow that we are using today is actually way easier than it looks like. First, we're going to generate our character, then we need to animate the image, and afterwards preparing the keyframes, which I'm going to show you how to do that. And then we need, of course, also to generate and prepare the garment. So the object, whether it's a jacket, pants, or any other object that you want then to apply in step number 5 on our human character. And number 6 at the end is then, of course, bringing everything together and animate everything. So for this whole workflow, we only need two tools: Create AI to generate the images and Kling AI for the video part. Midjourney is actually optional, so you can replace Midjourney with Create AI for this workflow if you want. And before we start, a quick reminder to like, subscribe, share some love in the comments. This is how you support me. Okay, so the first thing to do is to create the base images of our human character. I'm going to use Midjourney for that, and you can use any other AI image generation tool for that. But I think when it comes to fashion images, Midjourney really nails the aesthetic. And by the way, you can also use real images at this point. So I already prepared some prompts. I wanted to see which direction I want to go, and I think I really like the images below. So first, I wanted to go with one of these, but I really like the fact that some of these here below have at the beach at the background, and I think this will make a great video actually. So I will probably go with this one here. And yeah, after we created the base image, I think it's time for the next step. By the way, this is not a Midjourney tutorial. So for this workflow, you should be a little bit familiar with Midjourney or AI image generation tools in general. If not, no worries at all. If you struggle, I still have a ton of helpful and free Midjourney tutorials. So I leave the link in the descriptions. And then afterwards, you can just come back and continue with step number 2. All right, so we're going to use Kling AI now to bring some motion into the image that we previously generated in Midjourney. So we're going to click here on AI videos. And of course, the first thing we do is upload our image. And one thing that I would love to mention is we will use Kling AI 1.6. So Kling AI 1.6 is their new model, and the previous model was Kling AI 1.5. So Kling AI 1.6 comes not only with better image quality, but also with better prompt understanding, which is really important in this case. The only thing that we can do in Kling AI 1.6 right now are the camera movements and the control features, but that's totally fine. So I'm gonna paste my prompt here that I already prepared. And as I said, I will make sure to include the prompts in the description. So if you want to use the motion brush, for example, or if you want to control the camera movements, you can do these things here right now in Kling AI 1.6. Although they said that they will include these very soon, but that's totally fine. I mean, if you really want to do that, you can still use the previous model, Kling AI 1.5, and it's still a very good model, and there you can actually choose the camera movement. But we don't need that, so we're gonna go with Kling AI 1.6. You still have some options when it comes to the settings. For example, you have the creativity and the relevance value. Basically, this tells you how much Kling AI should follow your prompt. So if you go for higher value, so for more relevance, that means that your prompt is actually relevant. And if you go with a lower value, then you allow the model to hallucinate a little bit and be a little bit more creative when it comes to the prompt and your image prompt, especially your image prompt that you used. Usually, I recommend to go with the default, so zero point 0.5, but for this one, I would like to choose a little bit of a higher value, so zero point 0.7 is a good one. I always recommend to go with the professional mode. Never, never, never use the standard mode. Don't even think about it. I actually never use the standard mode. And for the duration, I think 5 seconds is okay. And of course, we have the negative prompts. So, in my opinion, this is one of the most underrated features in Kling AI. If you see something like a negative prompt in any other AI image or video tool, in general, I would always recommend you to use it. Basically, what the negative prompt does is you can type in something here in the text box that you don't want to see in your output. So you can describe colors, you can describe some objects, you can describe some movements. For example, if you want to create a headshot video and you don't want your character to maybe bring in the hands while they're talking, then you can include that. So just typing in hands, for example. But you can also go with things like bad quality, right? Or blurry, grain. I think you get the idea, right? So this is super important. Try to use it, right? And yeah, now you wait. Estimate time 4 minutes. That's okay. All right, so the video is done, and I think it looks amazing. So we generated two videos. I think both look really good. At this point, it doesn't matter which one we use, both look amazing. I'm gonna download one, and then we're gonna go to the next step. Okay, so this step was really important. And of course, you can use other AI models. I just really recommend Kling AI right now. I genuinely think that Kling AI 1.6, as of today, is the best image to video model. And if you want to use it straight away, I have a link for you in the description so that you can check it out and try it for free. What we need to do now is to extract here the last frame, as I said. So I'm gonna do this right now. By the way, this is a tool that I created or built on my own with AI too. I just told the AI, hey, I want to build a tool that is doing such and such. And it literally just took me a few prompts to build something like this. And I used V0 by Vercel, by the way. So if you want to also have a really easy and straightforward online solution, go and try it out. It's actually way easier than you think. So we now have the last frame. I downloaded the last frame and that looks perfectly fine. All right, so just a quick breakdown to see what we did so far. So we generated the image in Midjourney, right? And then we used our image to create the video in Kling AI. And then afterwards, after we created the video in Kling AI, we used the video and extracted the very last frame. So we exported the last frame. And this is now the new image that we will be working on. And this is the image that we will use in Creo AI. So the next thing we need to do is to train our AI model. And we're going to use Creo AI for that. The first thing we need to do is to click on train. And then we can choose actually what we want to train. So we can choose between a character, object, or style. And you can train pretty much everything. So if you want to go for specific pants, shoes, you can do that all here in Creo AI. And the first thing we need to do is to upload the images, which I'm going to do now. So this is the UI that you will see once you have uploaded the images. You have to upload at least 3 images. I'm going to recommend you to use way more images than that. So I've used 6 images, but this jacket that I'm going to use here is actually a very simple jacket. So as you can see, There's not really much going on here. We have three colors, some details. It's a normal jacket. But if you use something that is very complicated, that has a lot of patterns, colors, or maybe even text and logos, then you probably have to go with way more than 6 images. But for this, I think that's perfectly fine. And now we're going to take a look at the settings below. So here you have a few options that you can choose from. Of course, we will go with objects. As I already told you, you can also go with character or style. And I will recommend you to go with the default settings that are here. You can play around with them, especially if you have something that is, as I already mentioned, very, very complicated or complex, then it might be worth to go with a higher training steps or batch size. But in this case, we will go with the default settings, and for the trigger word I'm going to use jacket, and then we're going to start the training. Okay, so as you can see, I already did this training a few hours ago, so we don't have to wait actually for the training here. It doesn't take too long, maybe I would say 15 to 20 minutes, also really depending on how many images you've used. And the next step is now to actually use the jacket and apply it to our model. Okay, now back at the home page, and now we're gonna go to edit, right? So before we did the training, now we're gonna edit the image. We're gonna upload our last frame, so the image that we extracted from the Kling AI video. There it is. So this is our last frame. So from the video that we generated in Kling AI, we extracted the last frame and uploaded it here to Create AI. So now we're going to change the region. We want to change our jacket. And obviously we're going to click on change region here below. So we have a few options. We can use the auto select, right? And this is super helpful sometimes. So if you want to go with the auto select, that's perfectly fine. But you can also, if there's something missing, for example, here, you can also use the brush and then mask the missing area just like this. Now we're gonna tell Creo AI that we want to change the jacket, right? Or in paint or jacket, but we want a very specific jacket. So basically the jacket that we trained before. And what I'm also gonna do is I'm gonna use an image prompt, which I highly recommend at this point. So I really recommend using an image prompt. Here I used an image prompt of a model wearing the jacket, and I'm gonna go with a lower number. I usually recommend going between 3 to zero point 0.4. So zero point 0.3 to zero point 0.4. Let's go with the sweet spot, 0.35. And then we're gonna paste our prompt and hit generate. All right, so let's take a closer look at the jacket. I think that's absolutely fine. I really like it. Try to apply all the details that we trained on. We have the three colors. We have the red, gold, black. I think everything looks right at the first glance. If not, remember you can always repeat the process. So now you can in-paint it again if you want to. So if you say, hey, I want to do this whole process again, you can always do it. But if you say, all right, I like what I see, you just click on download here below to download the image. So this is probably where you should invest the most amount of your time. Training the right model is really important. And sometimes you just have to try multiple times till you find the right sweet spot between your training data set and the settings that you can find in Creo AI. If you want to go with garments, you should also make sure that you actually have images of humans wearing your clothes. That way you can make sure that the AI model actually understands the dimensions of your garment. Okay, now back to Kling AI. So for this step, which is also our last step, we're going to use Kling AI 1.5 because we really need the keyframes here. So this is the only way how we can create these transitions. So we just upload our very first image that we generated in Midjourney, and we also upload as a last frame the image that we generated in Creo AI. Okay, so as you can see, we used this one as a first frame and this one as our last frame. So you're basically telling Kling AI here, hey, this is how I want my video to start and this is how I want my video to end. And now we're gonna, of course, use a prompt. This is the prompt that I'm gonna use. Tracking shot, cinematic transition, seamless transition, fiery metamorphosis, the the blue jacket. The blue jacket ignites with controlled flames, burning away without harming the model, etc., etc. So you will find the prompt below in the description. These are the settings that I'm going to use, except that I will go with higher relevance because I really want to make sure that Kling AI is actually following the prompt to create this beautiful transition, and everything else stays the same, exactly like before. And now we're going to hit generate and see what we get. The videos are done, so let me show you the first result. So this was the first video that we made, and then I wanted to do some more videos, same keyframes. I just changed the prompts a little bit, and I even think they look a little bit more dramatic. The fire effect is a little bit more aggressive, and of course you can change it. You can go with some more subtle transitions or even more crazier ones, and I think Kling AI does really great jobs when it comes to these visual effects. So playing around with keyframes can be really fun, especially because it allows you to control how your videos start and end, and at the same time you can be very creative at everything that happens in between your keyframes. Okay, some last quick notes before you leave. First, make sure to upscale your images in between. That will really improve the output of your video. And also make sure to invest time in preparing the right dataset for the LoRa. Trust me, it will be worth it. And by the way, you can also just ask ChatGPT or any of your favorite LLM to help you create the prompt for the images and the videos as well. Also, feel free to follow me on X, formerly Twitter. This is where I'm most active and also where I share many more tutorials and just in general where I showcase my work. That being said, happy creating. See you next time.